I think we're live. What is up, YouTube viewers? Something I haven't done in a while. I haven't done a stream where I haven't recorded a stream lately and then uploaded it to video, or at least not in a long time. So I'm back with that today because, like I said, it's been a while, and I figure for those people who don't make the stream on the scheduled days, we're gonna call them, because I've totally been failing lately on delivering the content that I do promise you guys. I feel really bad about that. But in order to create more content for YouTube, I do think it would be nice just to have these streams up there, just in case someone's curious about what goes on with the streams. Streams are a little bit more lax than the YouTube videos. YouTube videos are kind of structured. But I do a stupid amount of talking in the streams, and it's really easy for us to get off topic of Summoner's War, whatever game we're talking about. So I thought it might be, it might be interesting to make some more uploads. Let's see what I have to do. I have to pop out chat. I just got back from Giordano's, and I feel like garbage. It was a miserable experience, and I ate a stupid amount of food. Definitely more dairy than anyone should ever consume, and especially me, since I am lactose intolerant for the most part. I shouldn't have been consuming that much dairy, but I did anyways, because it tasted so delicious. Now I'm drinking hot cocoa because I didn't have any dessert or anything like that, and I always need sweet things. I don't know what it is. I think I have an addiction to sugar, probably actually, but I need to constantly have sweet things, and there's nothing that's too sweet for me. Like, I feel like I have a relatively refined palate, but at the same time I'm like so open to different types of foods. Like, I'll eat just about anything. So food wise, don't take it out of context. But yeah, we got some dragons going on here. Some 87% successful dragon runs. It's not like stupid slow either. Magic Knight's still not on Fatal Blade like I want her to be, but I don't have the runes for it really. Not without unruning Tark, because Tark's exact rune set, except for a change in one of the slots to give a little bit more accuracy, would probably be what I would give to Magic Knight, because I do want her over 180 speed. And I believe Tark's rune set is 109, plus 109, and Tark is on a fatal speed crit damage attack build, so it doesn't get much faster than that in terms of runes that aren't swift. And especially in my box that are also, efficient for other things. That's funny. There's a long email list for something that I'm involved in, and one of those things specified in the email was, if you'd like a shirt of, let me read this. If you would like one of these shirts, please respond with your size. Here are the options, blah, blah, blah. Please refrain from reply all when sending me your size. The first, within 5 hours, 6 hours of that email, someone responds to everybody. So there's an all response, which I think is hilarious. How do you mess it up that much? Alright, let's add the game sounds on, because this is actually going to drive me nuts. I 100% need to do this. Oh, it's going to mess up my resolution. Just so there's some stuff going on. Oh, there's my stupid giant steam that I was running. Okay, let's do this, because I got some cords tangled up as well. How is this in terms of sound? I feel like that's kind of loud. Here, let me mess with the mixer. At least there's some sound going on in the background. I don't like the complete silence. I like the organized chaos. I feel bad, I'm like an hour late too. That is 100% the restaurant's fault though. So yeah, I did expect to be home by 6, and I would have been had there not been the ridiculous amount of delays at the restaurant I went to. Giordano's, the pizza place. We ordered pizza and it just it took way too long, and it wasn't the wait staff's problem, it was the chef's problem. I'm not sure if they didn't read the ticket correctly, but our order was incorrect 2 times, so there were definitely some issues. And oh man, that was something. I didn't expect to wait that long either, especially when you're like supposed to be a renowned business, or a business that's well known in all around the area for your quality food. The worst part, I think, wasn't just the fact that there was a delay. It was how stingy it seemed like the manager was being about reimbursing us for their incompetency. Because the manager came out after we had complained a few times and asked to see him, and we were just like, hey, are we gonna get a refund for this? And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna remove that item. Anything else? He's like, we're gonna give you 50% off your order, and I'm like, that's cool. So we end up paying 50% for the incorrect food. But after enough talking, we got to keep the food we brought out, and then they reimbursed us, and they sent out the correct thing for some things, and they reimbursed us for others. It was such a big old mess. I've never had that bad of an experience at a restaurant. I'm trying to think of the last time I had any issues at a restaurant, period, too. I feel like for the most part I don't notice anything, or I don't see anything that's necessarily annoying at restaurants. Like, the servers generally know what they're doing and all that stuff. And we never really have a problem with management. Usually the problem's with, like, the food was prepared incorrectly. That's, like, I feel like the most common problem I see at a restaurant. But that was surprising. So back to Summoner's War stuff, since I've been off topic and talking about my day. I normally don't talk about my day. Maybe on stream I do. Usually, I guess YouTube viewers don't really see anything about me. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I do in a day, and it's all semi-productive, but I mean, it goes as far as I really take it, I suppose. What I mean by that is I make a bunch of cosplay props in the day. Usually I make at least 1 or 2 relatively sophisticated ones every week. Also, I work on my own projects as well. But at least once every week, I'm working on something new or something continuous from the last week for a client. Whether it be a client who's came back, most of the time it's the same clients who have been back. Shaquan, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, it has been a while. I'm really sorry. I haven't been here on Thursdays because there's Citizens Fire Academy that I'm attending. I wasn't here last Sunday because I slacked off and I'm an idiot and I didn't, come through with my content. I'm very sorry about that. But I have been, I've been, relatively busy in terms of for me. But the But yeah, outside of cosplay props, I do a lot of grinding on Summoner's War. I always like to... What's up, Rehab? Welcome to the stream. I like to... you know, I have to grind on like more than 2 accounts. Usually it's 3 accounts per day. Let me adjust this since I'm sitting up. So it's about 3 to 4 accounts per day that I grind on. So there's my account, there's the my alternate account, the like account, and then there's the giveaway accounts that I've been doing every month. So the giveaway accounts, of course, take extra time. Where is the iPad? Can you look for the iPads in there, please? No, the iPad, not the Fire. Thank you. So usually I have 2 devices going. It's about 16 hours a day of grinding Summoner's War, and of course that sounds like a really big number. You know, it sounds like a lot, especially since you're awake about 16 to 20 hours a day, depending on how well you're actually able to sleep. I'm up about 18 hours a day. I only get about 6 hours of sleep at night, just because I've always had a tiny little bit of insomnia. Not like it's impossible for me to go to sleep. You know, I've always been a night owl, so I'm most productive at night, which means I naturally get less sleep during the nights. But that's not a problem because I'm still able to function just fine with it. But so I grind on the accounts during the day while I do other things. So grinding is basically, you know, something I do passively or as a on the side and subconsciously while I do other things in the day. It's really easy for me to not even pay attention while I'm clicking it, while I'm, you know, working on a cosplay prop, or even in between sets when I exercise. It's really easy to be able to farm in Summoner's War. How much did that giveaway account winner get a while back? How much did the giveaway winner get a while back? What do you mean, how much did that giveaway winner get? Speaking of grind, I'm starting to slowly hate Summoner's War because I can't do GB10 now. What's wrong? What's wrong with your GB10 team? The giveaway winner won the giveaway account. Is it under my shirt? I don't think it would be. Is it though? No. Yeah, I'm gonna get up and find the iPad. I'll be right back, guys. How far did he get? I mean, the account's in the Giants, and I've been keeping up with the progress. It seems like there is actual progress. I'm seeing units get 6-star, units get awakened. I'm seeing some rune improvements, so it seems like the person is actually taking the account seriously, which is great. Of course, they don't farm as much as me, but I didn't expect anyone to because the amount I farm is actually kind of ridiculous. I'll be right back. Oh, it's up here. My bad. So when I gave the account away, it was farming GB10 at about 70% success rate. It was a freshly fused Vero, so the Vero I believe was still 5-star. Of course, awakened and skilled up everything except for 2 skill ups and maybe 1 skill up. So GB10 was almost settled in fine. Bernard needed like maybe 1 skill up into the 3rd skill. But the account was well equipped, and I saw Vero 6-starred. I saw Hraesvelg, the Wind Barbarian King, awakened. You know, I saw a bunch of stuff. So it's cool, I see the progress. Also, here's the iPad right next to me. I'm farming on the giveaway account part 2. I want to see but ain't got the game. Oh, really? Why don't you have the game? It just won't complete a run. I have Bella, Bernard, Vero, Orochi, Shannon. Huh. Are you using Veramos lead? And what is your rune quality like? Do you have 200 speed per unit? Or if not, do you have 20,000 HP and 800 defense per unit, per support units? Was playing but lost interest? I'm sorry. That's the worst. Well, I'm glad you still stick by the streams. It's cool to have you stick around, Rehab. My question is, why are you watching if you don't play Summoners War, though? You just like to hang out? Am I really that entertaining? My rune quality is early game as usual. Okay. Then you might have to back it up to GB7 or GB8 for a while, just till you get your runes. You can do GB8 because you don't have any water units to worry about. You can stick in GB8 for a while, just to try to get some better rune quality. Oh, you're bored? Okay. That's a good reason. Well, I'm glad you pick here to come when you're bored. I'm always happy to have you around, Rehab. Yeah, I could totally see why Summoners War. Summoners War is a really easy game to lose interest with too, just because the grind is so serious. You know, the amount of time, the amount of energy. Not to make a pun or anything, but the amount of energy you have to put into the game in order to get the results you want. This sucks. I hate when the runs turn out like this. To really progress in the game is pretty serious, especially when compared to other games. When you have almost instant gratification for all your time and effort, you don't really get that in Summoners War. You don't get any sort of gratification for all your hard work and effort, because even when you've put in all that serious amount of time, sometimes stuff still doesn't work out for you. So you go through all that, and sometimes there's still issues, still barriers you run into. Sometimes an update comes and all of a sudden none of your teams work, so you never know. Been playing another game but losing interest. Yeah, I was that way with Summoners War for a long time too. You don't have a game. You don't have a game you put time into. I mean, it's, again, like I said, it's any game you put time into. It's hard because you're putting, you're like, when you put time into a game, it's almost like you're putting part of yourself into that game, whether or not you really feel like you are, or you really are consciously trying to do it. Anytime you spend, hours a day doing anything, you're putting part of yourself into it, and when you don't get any satisfaction in response or any sort of gratification for the effort you put in, it's really demoralizing. I got off track a little bit. I am uploading this to YouTube, so I was telling a story about my pretty crap afternoon at a pizza place, but that segued off into talking about my day. So cosplay stuff, work on the grind at Summoners War. I play a bunch of online games as well. I play PUBG, I play Overwatch, I play CSGO. There's a few other games I play as well. I play a little bit of Terra. All I want to do is to be able to do GB10 in under 1 minute. I'll just farm every day until I have a 320 speed Sierra on Violent or something like that. That's a wonderful goal to have, and it's a very 320 speed on a Sierra on Violent is very unrealistic in terms of goals, but it's good to set your goals high, so you have something that you're aiming toward, I suppose. But over time you'll be able to get that sub 1 minute GB10. I have a sub 1 minute GB10, or I had a sub 1 minute GB10 without having a Lucian. So if I could do it without a Lucian, surely you could work toward the same goal, using units. Other units, just about anything works for a speed GB10 as well, as compared to speed DB10, which is much higher rune requirements and requires more sophisticated compositions. Speed GB10 can be done with just about anything. I was screwing around the other day, and I'm like, you could put anything into Giants B10 and have it a speed Giants B10. And so I put this team in, which is every unit except for Galleon has some form of multi-hit, which is stupid, because multi-hits and Giants get your team killed faster, excuse me. But just to show that, it doesn't matter what you do. And of course it has a Galleon. Galleon's really awesome, but you could take it out. You have Terra for PS4, but it bored you? You sure it's not just games in general you're bored of then? Because it's really easy to get burnt out from games when you play a lot of games. I mean, what are you looking for in a game? What do you... Because you're talking about sinking time into a game, but maybe games just aren't for you right now. Because if you play too many games, you get burnt out. I totally get that too. Then how about you find a hobby that isn't playing games? Maybe, whether it's a form of art or exercise or socialization with friends. I mean, RPG games. Well. Let's see. Can we have our mouse back, please? There we go. There is a game that I was looking... Oh, I totally forgot what it was, too. I actually was signed up, and I'm still signed up for it, and, I haven't gotten too far into conversing with the people in charge, but I was signed up to be a ambassador for an RPG game that is coming out soon, which means that my channel would be creating content and all that stuff. Not using your win team anymore. I'm not doing dragons anymore. Ice Cold Wind, welcome to the stream. Or Giants anymore, I'm sorry. I'm doing Dragons only. So my entire win team, they got unruined last free rune removal for this Dragons B10 team. Because, of course, Chilling, Tark, and Vertihill all needed really good Blade runes. My good Fatal set went to Tark. My good Swift set went to Chilling. My even better Swift set went to Stella, but the Stella composition isn't working right now just because my towers aren't maxed. So, like I said, it's kind of miraculous that my Dragons B10 speed team is working at all right now. Just because it's not really, it's not really set the way it should be. You like RPG, and that's about it. There's so many good RPG games out there. You know, Pirates and Thieves, is that what came out? Pirates and Thieves, I believe, is the name of the pirate game that just came out. That's an RPG-based team game where you do a lot of looting. It's more on the childish side. Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, thank you. Sea of Thieves just came out, and it's like, it's a piratey game, but it's a lot more casual than a typical RPG. RuneScape is extremely grindy, and it's really easy to get burnt out in RuneScape, especially since it takes hundreds of hours to get skills maxed, and once you get your skills maxed, that's about the game. When you get your skills maxed, it's either you quit the game because you've run out of great things to do, and you come back in 10 months when they create a new skill or some form of new content, or you decide to branch out, become a moneymaker, and make so much money that you control the economy in RuneScape, which is a whole other aspect of the game that some people have become involved in. Although, you can sell RuneScape gold for real-life money, so if you're able to make it really fast, you can actually make, it's not even that much, though, but it's like $10 or $12 an hour from grinding in RuneScape. If you grind really well, really efficiently at the maximum level with the maximum stats, you can make like $12 an hour if you do the fastest money-making method. But that's honestly, that's just me going off on a tangent. There's plenty of RPG games out there. I can't think of many free ones that are great. Like I said, that's why I mentioned Terra. Terra is a pretty sick RPG, but no money. Play a lot of other games, but got none. Just Fortnite and Paladins. Just got bored. Are you playing alone though? I find that's another thing that changes whether or not I really enjoy a game is the people I play with. Just because playing with other people, of course, in any game that you play is going to help you be more motivated. Maybe you'll have more of a reason to grind in the game and try to progress because either you're trying to beat your friends or keep up with them, or you're grinding together, and so you have a, I don't want to call it a supportive gameplay, but it's like, well, when you play with people, it's a whole different level. $12 an hour is better than minimum wage. It definitely is, but in order to get to that point, you already have to put in, 700, 800 or more hours, depending on how fast you are, how efficient you are with progression. My friends just played GTA and COD World War II. Oh, okay. That sucks. That is the typical game. GTA is pretty fun. More for screwing around than anything else. That's the thing, is neither of those games has serious gameplay. Don't mean to make anybody triggered. I know there's Call of Duty fans out there, but in my opinion, Call of Duty hasn't changed since Modern Warfare 2. So, yeah, you could walk on walls now. Doesn't change anything. Not in World War 2, of course. In the Advanced Warfare and the other, whatever other branches of the series have come out. Yeah, but once it's set, it pays for itself, maybe. Again, if you think about 800 or more hours of progress into a game, if you put more than double that time, right, into streaming, into finding a real job, into creating YouTube videos, into anything else you do, if you put that amount of time in there, the amount of profits you're going to get are going to be way higher. Like, if I was actually making one video a day like I prefer to, I feel like I could be way further in terms of subscribers and viewership, but I've been a lazy piece of garbage recently, so I haven't been making the content for you guys, and I feel really bad about that. Which is why I'm recording this stream for YouTube, so that I have more content. What sucks is me owning an Xbox 360, no good games for me to play. That is what happens with an Xbox 360. On PS3, I used to have GTA and Skyrim and all the CODs, but sold everything per PS4. Oh. Skyrim was fun. I remember my first playthrough of Skyrim, and then my second playthrough of Skyrim, I didn't want to do as much grinding, and so I did the XP book glitch my second way through, and I got to screw around with maximum stats. So, I mean, Skyrim was interesting. No lapis, that means this one's a fail. So this is not the team I'd like to be running. I talked about this in a video, I believe. This is the team I want to be running, and if you look at my Stella's got pretty good runes. Every unit on my team has around 70% crit rate. Just because I know people are going to critique the crit rate. Every unit on my team has that low of crit rate, just because I'm kind of relying on the crit rate buff from chilling in order to have higher efficiency, because pretty much chilling will always have that buff up. There will be one move where he doesn't, I believe, because it's like a 3-turn cooldown, right? 3-turn cooldown, it lasts 2 turns, yeah. It'll pretty much always be up, except for like half a rotation or something like that. I did the math a long time ago, but a more passive income once you set it up. You can do YouTube, typical 9-to-5 job, etc. And get the $12 an hour, etc. It took me 1 year to beat, yeah. No, I got Skyrim almost 100%. I got Skyrim like 96% completion, doing all the side quests, doing all the DLC, doing all that stuff before I made my second account. It wasn't worth it for me to do the extra grinding for it, just because this was, I mean, I got into Skyrim way late, way after it came out, like a year or two after it came out. So whenever I was almost done with Skyrim, I was already at a point in my life when I was transitioning into PC gaming, which is not to say that PCs are better than consoles, you know, whatever, or that PCs hurt my vision of consoles necessarily, but it kind of did. Just in terms of, you know, since I've been PC gaming, I don't play console games. You know, I still have a respect for consoles as a medium for playing games, because I think regardless of what you use, gamers are gamers. So what was the stream supposed to be about now? This is my scheduled stream. That's the title of it. I do my weekly stream. I just come on, I play Summoners War, and I talk to you guys. That's what I do, you know? I get off topic every single stream, and so now I've just decided to go right in with it. It's like a vlog. It's like a vlog with Summoners War going in the background, I think, more than anything. You want a fun mobile game to play. I was going to recommend one, but I don't want to give you anything too rage-inducing. I have been playing Castle Crush. Pretty rage-inducing game, especially because the pay-to-play aspect in Castle Crush is more so than any other game that I've dealt with before. I haven't dealt with many mobile games, but the rage on Summoners were pretty hard. Castle Crush is pretty rage-inducing. It's more rage-inducing, I promise you. Because you start to get into it and you really start to love the game, and then you have to have crystals in order to get the piggy bank and get the chests open, and you have to have the best cards, otherwise you can't compete at that level. And I'm pretty high up in terms of the ratings in the game. I am 2 tiers below the top tier of the game, and I've only been playing for 2.5 weeks, I think. So it wasn't hard for me to move up. It's a real-time strategy game with mana-based, so my best way to explain it, right, is Hearthstone. So you imagine Hearthstone where you take your turns, you do whatever. So you have your cards. Every turn you get more mana. So you imagine your mana bar constantly going up. So your mana bar, you know, starts at 2, then it goes to 3, 4, 5, whatever, all the way up to 12. And along the way, of course, you draw a card right before you gain your extra mana crystal. Castle Crush. Used to play Castle Clash. Was like Clash of Clans, but good at both games. Town Hall 9, Clash of Clans Max, Clash of Clans used to be top 100 play. Nice, dude. But yeah, it's like Hearthstone. The mana goes up. You play cards, but when you play cards, there's 3 lanes, and units can go into different lanes. Different units counter each other and have different amounts of damage. But you need to open chests so you can get more units. Different rarities of units, of course. Higher rarity means stronger unit generally, and you need to get duplicates of that unit in order to level it up or increase its stats. Which does, you know, make a substantial difference between a player who's been playing for 1 month and a player who's been playing for whatever since it came out, or a player who's pay to play. And you'll see just higher level units just smashing your face in because they've spent more, and so as a result they just have better stats, and chilling's dead. So I mean, it's a fun game, and there is definitely some strategy involved in it, but it doesn't give me any satisfaction when I play it, when I just get annihilated because someone clearly has spent longer time playing the game and They haven't beaten me on skill, but beat me on sheer amount of cards that they've opened. Okay, man, you go find that game. Yeah, I've been in slumps before where it's like, the game I rage on hardest on is Trials of Ascension. Or you're talking about Trials Evolution. I've been in a few slumps in my, I don't want to call it career gaming, but in my time gaming or playing games where I've hit points where I just don't really know what to play. And usually I default back to a game that I've spent a lot of time on before. A lot of the times that game was actually RuneScape, which is why I brought it up earlier. Trials Fusion, okay. I've played RuneScape probably at more than 20 different occasions in my life, even if for only short periods of time. I've never gone in and actually grinded for real for over like a week or anything. I'll come in for a week, I'll play, I'll screw around. Now you can get a membership, a full, like a pay-to-play membership with in-game currency, so if you have accumulated enough in-game wealth, you can be a pay-to-play player, which is cool. I think that's a really cool thing. And when I saw that originally, that's when I went back and I played and blah, blah, blah. But usually when I'm in a game slump, it's like, it's always the worst feeling because you don't get any satisfaction from playing games, which is terrible, especially if you're like me, and that's where you go, like almost like a happy place when you're like, I want to go to play games because games are super fun and it gives me good feelings. Today I saw a level 22 player who has a Limit GB10 team with LD boomerangs and has only been playing for 8 days. Has made me question whether or not my account is in anything in Summoners War. God has spoken to me. He says pay to play is the way to go. I'm gonna stick with free to win. Yeah, stick with free to win. Also, level 22 player. Did you check the account? Did you see the rune quality? Because he might just be using an exploit in the game, not an exploit, a hack in the game, in order to make his units deal more damage than they should be. Downloading Chain Strike. Well, good luck with that. I rage on Summoners War where I reset the account, then uninstalled it like a savage. Wow. Jeez. It's okay, guys. There's just some things you have to understand, you know? Oh, okay. So he was pay to play for sure. Because, honestly, I kind of hate the direction the game went in. I understand that some people are at a huge disadvantage because they're coming into the game way late, and in order to catch up with those people, they have to pay to win. But holy crap, if you pay to win the game, you could win Summoners War so hard. Constantly buying the rune packs, constantly buying the reappraisal packs, constantly buying the LD packs. Honestly, you buy your way up to G1 in like a month or two. Like, honestly, I wish I could demonstrate how easily you can progress in the game if you know what you're doing and you spend money. The thing is, I don't have $10,000 to drop on Summoners War, you know? That's why I stream and I do, create YouTube content, because my hopes are to be able to pay my bills, much less, be able to drop a ridiculous amount of money into the game. But honestly, if I had $10,000 to spend completely devoted to Summoners War, I guarantee you this account would be G1 in a matter of a month, maybe two, just from the, buying the rune packs, buying the ridiculous amount of packs for, summons, and then grinding 20 hours a day. One thing I kind of wish they would implement in terms of paying, right? So paying for runes, I think, is ridiculous. I think runes are a part of the game everyone should be able to have the misfortune of grinding for, or really get to feel what it's like to grind for runes. Because I feel like you have a different appreciation for the way the game works when you grind for your runes, and when you really finally get that really good rune where you're like, yes, that's what I was waiting for. Because I did get that rune on Stella a while back. Her slot 4 crit damage rune. But you get this different level of satisfaction. Tell that to the people who bought rune packs and got flat stats on 246. Well, I understand that there is some level of RNG to it, but if you buy enough of them, you're skipping just hours and hours of farming and other things that you'd have to do. They got the money for pitchforks, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I understand there's some element of RNG to that as well, but I mean, you can progress so far in this game if you're pay to win. It's stupid. And I understand Comp2Us is a business, but sometimes it feels like they're a business before they're a game company. And I think any time that your business model revolves more around your income than your player base, or then maintaining most of your, or the majority of your player base, it kind of destroys the game and lowers its quality and drives people away. And we saw that. I mean, I want to say it was like 2 years ago, maybe, like before I started, of course. That's when you started seeing like the big decline of, you know, people have been playing for 2 years or whatever, and are starting to just rage quit the game because the rates are terrible, and every time they spend money they feel like they're getting punished, and they see brand new players with LB Nat 5s because they just reset the crap out of their accounts until they got it, and there being no real reason to keep playing the game once you're in raids, because guess what? Now you're in raids so that you could grind for the runes that you've grinded forever for, which aren't good enough, so you can not get the grindstones from raids that you need to progress. So it's like you just go from one area of grinding to another. Like I grinded in Giants for 6 months, and now I'm going to grind in Dragons for more than 6 months, 6 to 8 months. Luckily, soon we get the Summoners War MMO RPG, which will be really interesting because I like the art style of Summoners War. The it sounds not terrible. Everything about the, you know, the attack animation and the almost playful nature of what's going on, you know, the bright colors and the flashy attacks make me kind of enjoy this game almost in a juvenile sort of way. I get mad more because of rune quality being garbage more or less than Monster, even though I want my Dream Nat 5 still. Yeah, because that's the thing. Even if you don't have the best monsters in the world, if you have really good runes, that'll take you a long way. So I would much rather, or personally I would rather have amazing runes than necessarily have a monster that I want. Because of course I would like any of the Dragon Knights. Instantly, if I got a Dragon Knight, I would buy the Transmog. I wouldn't hesitate, because just the Dragon Knights are awesome. They're cool. They're just my favorite monster. Of course, if I got a Ragdoll, I might become pay to win, to be completely honest. But I can't even get a Sky Dancer on this account, which is crazy. On my first account, I pulled all three multiple times over. I've never gotten a Lucian on any of my main accounts. I just recently got a Lucian on my Leica account, which was miraculous. Speaking of Lucian, let's go pull one out of this scroll, right? No, I'm not going to get lightning out of this scroll. I know how it works. But you know, just you gotta power through it and try to get those runes so that you can make the units you have perform better. Still never pulled a Lucian or a Verd in a year and a half. That really blows. I know that feeling because the account I have now, I reset 4 times. Last time I reset, I had a Chandra, and I reset right before a Chandra buff. I would never reset with a Nat 5, period. It doesn't matter whether or not the Nat 5 is weak. It doesn't matter if you pulled Daphnis. There's no reason to ever reset with a Nat 5 because there's some accounts that have gone without a Nat 5 for more than a year. So to you know, just throw away that Nat 5, it really blows. And even before the buff, Chandra was pretty decent. I mean, it's a water tank. You know, how many other water tanks with the self-heal did you really have? I mean, nothing else. You go speed HP on Despair Energy or Despair Revenge and put him in TOA, you know? It wasn't because the Nat 5, it was because of Rage and RNG and Giants. Well, resetting your account doesn't give you any new RNG. It's not like there's some sort of standard for luck. It's just like, even if you get crap runes, you have to keep farming. That's the hardest thing to do. I'm trying to think of the main monster I missed where 4-star Lucian Hua, or at least I can't think of the other main ones. Chasun, and who else? I'd definitely call Chasun a core monster. Galleon. Galleon's really important, 4-star. I think it's extremely important. You're learning that with the hard way now. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people who have who have like reset accounts or fed important LD net force and stuff like that. This is not a happy farming day for me. But guess what? I'm still farming. It sucks, but I'm still farming. Okay, let's make some room. We need to feed some stuff. Not you. I have to, never got you soon either. I pulled Galleon, that was it. But Galleon's still amazing. I mean, even if you never pulled any other important net for it, Galleon carries you through Speed Dragons, Speed Giants, as well as Arena and Guild Wars. What I was going to do, oh, I did get the Wind Boomerang in the last week. What I was going to do, I have to grind a bunch of Hall of Wind, and I believe some Hall of Fire as well. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I did make a video. I know I thought about resetting Famine Card for LDNet 5. Yeah, but that doesn't make a lot of progression help. It doesn't help your progression a lot though. I was gonna fuse my Jean, or my, yeah, Jean, whatever, the Light Paladin. Because did I not get the? I swore I had the Light Cowgirl in this account. Man, I guess it was a different account. So I was going to fuse my Light Paladin because I don't know if you guys saw, I did make a video a while back talking about the Paladins and, you know, where all of their strengths lie. And the Light Paladin is so good for TOA, or has so much potential for TOA. And so I want to show people what she can do, but to do that I have to go fuse one first. So I mentioned something about a giveaway account. Yes, every month for the past 2 months. This is the second month in a row I'm doing it. I build an account from scratch on the 1st of the month, and I give it away on the last day of the month, whether it be the 29th, 30th, whatever. And I give away the account. The account comes fully equipped with everything you need to progress through the game. It has a Vero fused. It has a functional GB7 team at a minimum. I always aim to get a GB10 team, even if it's only around 70% successful. So I grind for the runes. I try to make a 200 speed Bernard, at least a 180 speed Bella, and a 190 speed Shannon. And basically give you all the building blocks to progress. The goal of the account is to help players who are newer or struggling with the game to get past the hardest step of the game, which is trying to get into Giants and create a Giants, structured Giants team so that you can progress toward the future. Because there's not really any part of the game that explains what to do between scenario. You know, the game's like, oh, go through scenario. Oh, here's TOA. Oh, here's World Boss. Oh, here's Rift of Worlds. They give you all these things. They flash all these things in your face, and they're not explaining the core path of progression or what's best, you know. And they came up with the challenges which are designed to help you, but they don't really explain well enough because nobody reads those. They should be saying, okay, we noticed you're level 50. Have you tried to progress in Giants? You know, there's no Elia talking to you about, hey, your runes suck. I don't get the logic. I don't get the logic. Don't make a giveaway account. Just fix theirs. No, this isn't. It's not necessarily meant to fix other people's accounts. It's meant to help other players getting into the game. It's maybe people who have seen the game, somebody who wants to get their friend into the game. That's the point of it. It's not, hey, go ditch your account and come take this one. It's, hey, I want to help bring more people into the game and help them stay in the game. You know, that's what it's about. I do have a lot of account help videos on my YouTube channel, beginners guides, some guides to what runes to put on certain monsters, what your beginning core team should look like. I've done a bunch of videos on that topic, and that's always my goal, is to help the beginner community just progress more. I try to help late game as well, but I mean, for the most part, late game players know what they need to do, so they don't need nearly as much help as maybe someone who's just starting off. So get ready for the background noise. Really, Xander? Yeah. Yeah, I would never tell somebody to go bail on their account, you know. If someone's goal was to get the beginner's account because they don't like where their account is, then I tell them, hey, let's see what you're doing on your account. Let's see what you're doing wrong. Because oftentimes it's a relatively simple fix.
What are you doing, Band-Aid boy?
Light Paladin, Ciara, Beth is potential troll defense. What do you mean as troll defense? It seems like a pretty legit defense. You're talking about for Guild Wars? I mean, you have an AoE defense break for damage. You have the Light Paladin to give your team some survivability. You have Ciara for a nuke. You have Beth for a real nuke. It seems pretty strong. But it loses to Lucian. Unless you make your Light Paladin fast or tanky. That's the big thing. You have to always think about what are the most common, offenses. And right off the top, it's like, Konamaya Lucian beats that. Just make a 250 speed Konamaya, and you get Lucian. With 4 monster like Frigate. I don't know if I'd use Frigate with that team. I think if you're going to go to tank, you should put it all in on tank. Also, if you're going to have Ciara as a bomber, you probably want some sort of attack buffer. Because defense break doesn't matter with bomb. I don't know. It depends how you build it and rune it. You could rune to its strengths, but what I like to think about when I think about defenses is what caters to the largest group or the most common arena offenses. Where's my defense break? What's the point of bringing 2 defense breakers if the defense break is never up? Yeah, see, and the only reason this team works better is because I don't have enough damage. Yeah, Megan's good there. Megan's good instead of Frigate. Gives your team more survivability too. How much did you miss? You missed 48 minutes worth. You missed a lot. There's a huge explosion in the background, blah blah blah. Yeah, I pulled a Light Archangel too. I did my monthly LD scroll and I got Light Archangel. It was pretty nuts. Like it's pretty crazy. You have no idea. Yeah, you missed the reaction. Yeah, I mean you didn't get any chance to clip it. It's a real shame. I mean, now it's just gonna be forgotten. And it's only take an hour nap. Yeah, that's what always happens. See, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as like a 1 hour nap though, because you close your eyes and next thing you know it's the next day and you're like, oh crap, I've been sleeping for 14 hours. Doesn't happen to me. Happens to her a lot. No, you didn't. You honestly didn't miss anything though. I didn't pull. If I pulled a Light Archangel, I would be on top of the world right now. I'd probably be buying a Violent Rune Pack so that I could rune it up with some sort of crazy Violent set. That nap turned into 4 hours. That'd be nuts. If I pulled a Light Archangel, I told her a while back. When I was in the car one day, I was grinding on Summoner's War and hanging out with my brother, and I saw chat. Someone pulled the Light Archangel, and that person, after all the GZs, that person said, "Rip, it's a dupe." Somebody pulled a duplicate Light Archangel, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me, though?" And it was like the craziest thing I ever saw in chat. I had to screenshot. I did screenshot it. It was nuts though. Like who even says rip about a second Light Archangel? Who would not want a duplicate LD Nat 5? You know? Yeah, they played it off real well. No one's sneakier than my chat. Light Hecate. Little Hecate, my bad. Yeah, I was like... I saw that in chat and I'm like, I can't believe you just said rip. Who cares if you have a second one, right? You build one that's slow on Despair and super tanky, and you build one fast for defense on like Will. Or on, I'm sorry, on like Shield. Like, Violent... No, maybe not Violent Shield. Well, it's something else. Seen someone with 3 Dark Neostone Agents and Arena Defense? Wow, what a douche. I think I've seen the same thing. I think I've seen Triple Sylvia before. You were like, rip? You could take 3 of them? What did I see? I saw something crazy. Oh, I saw the crazy LD team. I saw somebody have Light and Dark Dragon and then Light and Dark Dragon Knight to go with it. And I'm like, that's sick. That's really sick. Now they need a merged form. It needs to be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Get out your polymerization. I fuse Dark Dragon Knight with Dark Dragon to make Dark Dragon Knight Soldier or Dark Dragon Knight Warrior. I don't know, that'd be nuts though, you know? Combining monsters, oh my god, turn this into a whole new game. I'm gonna take my 2 LD Nat 5s and I'm gonna wreck you twice as hard. Their combined attack is doubled and their speed is tripled. What are you gonna do about that? I've seen double Sylvia Zaratu and then a Forest Keeper. Yeah, they just wanted to show off their sick team. The Growth Pack 2 is now available. Thanks, game. Not gonna be getting that. These shop rooms lately are terrible. So what do I need? I need to probably just level stuff up. Oh, and I need the Fire Beast Hunter. So if any of you guys want to go farm the Fire Dungeon for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Honestly, what happened when Frigate hits the meta? LD Legendary Scrolls? I guarantee it'll happen when they get desperate. I don't think it's coming anytime soon. I think it'll happen when Com2uS gets desperate for, maybe not money, but desperate for people to like trust them. Like if Com2uS has a really big screw up, and I'm surprised there wasn't more backlash about the Boomerang Girls and Chakram Dancers getting screwed. But yeah, if they released LD Legendary Scrolls, I guarantee you Com2uS is going to be making bank. Because they made the LD Elemental Scrolls, and the thing is, I don't think it's that... I think they have it in certain packs. It's not uncommon that they have it out. I feel like it wasn't like a one-time only buy. There was one where it was like you get to choose your legendary. I know it's one of the progression packs. I think there's another one as well. Also, LD Legendary, or the, not LD Legendary, Elemental Legendary you get to choose sucks anyways. You bust open that scroll, and now you get to choose the element of your disappointment. Wind monster, have a wind mermaid. How do you like that? How do you like a slap across the face from Com2uS? Do you think it will kill the game when Legendary Scrolls LD? I don't think so. I think it'll affect higher level meta, but I think people still won't have the rune quality to use their units. You have Light Cowgirl if I want it. Oh, really? That's amazing. I actually need that. That's perfect. You want to hop into channel 3750 or friend request Crushed Cookie? All one word, no caps. Because I would love that light cowgirl. That way I can fuse my Jean today. Because I have the other units for her in storage, and I believe they're all 5-starred as well, which is a crazy thing. They might be. Maybe not. I 5-starred most of them. I 5-starred any unit that was max level 4-star over the last month. You'll see me in 3750. Awesome. That's what I want to see. There we go. Okay, let's just finish up this run and then we'll get that. That's cool. So then I could fuse her today. I don't have the food to 6-star her though. I recently 6-starred my Manchura, so I'm fresh out of food. I'm fresh out of 4-star maxes is what I'm fresh out of. Because I think I'm good actually on 4-stars right now on my account. So it's kind of up to Guild Wars, and I recently joined a new guild. Of course, I leave my high level guild to go to a noob guild so I can carry and get more crystals, and then literally the day after I do that, they come out with the patch that nerfs the crap out of it. They come out with a patch that nerfs my ability to get extra rewards. So, I mean, still 30% of a guild's rewards is still a significant amount of crystals a month if we can finish at like upper fighter, but even still, I mean, it's garbage compared to what it used to be. You're getting like one or two fifths of your obtainable rewards from what it previously was. See, now if you're a Guardian 2-level player in a Conqueror 1-level guild, you can still get a ridiculous amount of crystals. Now, I thought Light Paladin was good before. I think she's even better now. I totally even forgot what she did. She has, she gets, oh yeah, additional turn after she provokes. Amazing. Send friend request. Nice Sierra. Nice transmog. Hey Elia, why would I want to look at Elia? But I never set this up for my account. How do you set that up? It's an arena, right? I assume. I don't know. It's too newfangled for my old self. Ooh, we're close to some stuff. Hey, let's get this SD right quick. Boom, 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 boom. I need some this and some that. And I think I actually want to take out. This will be the only time I take out Faye in any of these teams. Not being able to tell you when another guild war is up. Oh, I saw pictures get 3,000 crystals and 5,000 guild points from one siege battle before. Yeah, I've seen that too. No, Jean is really useful. She's just not. She's useful in very niche situations. So I think she's really good in TOA. And she was good in TOA before this patch. She's amazing now. If you put her on a Violent Revenge build, she's going to be nuts. Speed HP defense, build her like a Varad on Violent, or except on Violent Revenge. Build her like a Varad in terms of stats. A lot of HP, a lot of defense, a lot of speed, and then a lot of accuracy. And I guess you could say that about any support, but I mean, oh, she's so good. And I believe the first skill gives her health as well. I'll have to look at that again. We're speedrunning the dungeon. I wish we could have a sub 30-second run. Hey, boss battle auto. That person kicked everyone outside the guild before rewards. Wow, that's shiesty. He got a lot of rewards though. 100% of the guild rewards. Holy crap. What level was that at even? That was high. That was Conqueror level, right? Oh, I almost had this cowgirl already. That's crazy. Didn't even realize. Are you going to do an update video for the paladins? No reason to. Nothing has changed. They just got better. All the paladins still have the same uses as I talked about in the video. Man, way to bone me, come to us. Every time I try to make... This is why I don't make update videos, right? I don't make videos to talk about the updates on my channel because every time I do, they become irrelevant a month later. When CompTwist decides some update they did was too OP and they roll it back. I don't know, or something hits the fan. But there's never a reason to constantly make those updates. Now, if Comtoist did something super game-breaking, I might talk about it. But honestly, I don't see any point of me making videos that people are already making on the channel. Or on YouTube channels. So just one more run of this and we got our cowgirl. We still have to make her into a 5-star, but I have no shortage of food, so I think we're good on that. Also, I think I have a XP booster that's going to fall off. I think I'm going to call it a night. Good night. When you finish, can you remove me if you desire? Oh yeah, no problem. Have a good night, man. Thanks for dropping by the stream. You see the delay. It's harder to tell when there's a lot of stuff going on, but there's 100% delay. Stark's put in work. Is it really that big of a difference between I can't ever tell, because the turn order. I can't tell which... Okay, so he hit 11k with attack buff. That he had defense break. Count. Nope, I can never tell how much damage is going on. He hit 9k. So you can see the damage difference between my two Tarks. My 5-star Tark actually does similar damage, or the same damage or higher damage on the 1st and 3rd skill as my my 6-star Tark, because my 5-star Tark is going to have higher attack and I believe slightly higher crit damage. My 6-star Tark, however, has, I believe, 30 speed more. I did check out both of their rooms. That's cool. It's awesome to have her now, because now we can fuse the Light Paladin. Oh, I have all these stones. I didn't realize I had all these stones coming into the rotation that's going to be out soon. Hey, Light Cowgirl. Okay, let's not fail too hard. I do believe I have an XP booster, so I could level some stuff up. Just in case, right? Don't we? Yeah, 22 hours. Let's do it. Other monsters that I need to get out. Let's see. So we have Harmonia, we have Kaz. I think they're both... Kaz is 5-starred. I don't believe Harmonia is. Right? Kaz? Kaz, I thought you were 5-starred. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, he is. He's right here. He's level 33. He's almost 5-starred. And Harmonia is untouched, I believe. Where is she? Am I really that blind? I am blind. She's right there. Okay. So we need to get both of them 5-star maxed and awakened. We need to get the Wind Kung Fu Girl, right? Yep. I was fusing her for something else, for skill ups, but I guess I will not be. So we need Wind Shark, Wind Grim Reaper, Water Imp, and Rauk, right? Yeah. So Wind Grim Reaper, Wind Shark, Water Imp. So we have Water Imp, we have a Rauk. So now we need Wind Grim Reaper and Wind Shark. So there's our Wind Shark. We need to awaken one of these Wind Grim Reapers as well. Which means, of course, we need some more Wind Mids. And we're going to try for those a few times before we go hop into our whatever else. We don't care what element this dungeon is because it doesn't make a difference. Chromatic. It's not. Sorry, Chromatic. Sorry to let you down. No, I've gotten that question over 100 times. It is not at all any reference to Game of Thrones. Leaving stream, sorry. Yeah. It's fine, we don't want any of those Game of Thrones fans in our stream anyways, it's all good. Doesn't make a difference to me. I haven't watched the series. I watched I think one small tidbit that my friend sent me. But I don't know. I never watched the series, so I have no input on it. All I know is that Westeros is a place in the Game of Thrones universe, so... You got a fan yourself? What do you mean you have a fan? You're farming your sig, nice, dude. Oh, you are a GOT fan. Yeah, I know she's a GOT fan. It threw me off with all caps. Guess you gotta leave. Guess I gotta remove your mod status. Just here for the SW? Yeah, well, I assume so. I would assume so. Glad you're here for the Summoners War. You gotta be here for something. Definitely not for me. So better give some top quality stuff. Ooh, I don't know if you're at the right stream for that. If you need help or advice, I'm usually good at I'm usually pretty good at helping out players at different sections of the game in terms of progression. If you want to progress quickly, efficiently, I'm usually able to give you some kind of help if you don't, of course, already know what you're doing. A lot of people do know you're new and know what they're doing, so don't remove your mod. Selling it to the highest bidder. Only started like 60 days ago, followed up on other streams, so I'm pretty clued up. Nice. And you're on the EU server. Cool. Can I get some mids, please? Yeah, the first like 90 days of Summoners War is like the best. It's like you see all the progression, everything is great. Every rune you get, or every 4 or 5 star, and when you start to get your 6-star runes, like just is the best feeling ever. But got Vero last Saturday and just hit 50 last night. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's a huge milestone in terms of progression. Awakened Phrasevolg, Lapis and Vero, nice. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Phrasevolg. Phrasevolg was my best runed unit for 4 months, and then last free rune removal came around. So, and he ate it. You spilled about 3 or 4 days worth of food all over the floor. Oh, rip. How'd you manage that? What'd you spill? Soup? Stew? Chili? Ooh, chili. That's super rip if you spilled chili. First GB10 team should be Vero, Bella, Bernard, Shannon, Sig. Nice. So you're going all in with the fusions straight off the bat. That's a very safe approach. Also, all those units are going to be used for future progression anyways. Every unit except for Shannon and Bernard can be sent right into, or 3 of the units I should say, are going to be sent right into your Dragons team if you decide to make a beginner's Dragons team rather than sticking with Giants till you can do a Dragons B10 speed team. So, might switch out Bernard for Phrasevolg. That's what I did. My first unit to go was Bernard, just because Bernard doesn't bring much to the team. He doesn't bring damage. He kind of just helps your team cheat into a stage of Giants that it's not ready for by giving it the extra speed buff, meaning that its rune quality could be a tiny little bit lower. But the defense break and attack break are kind of decent sometimes, which means you have to give him accuracy, which probably means you're not giving as much speed. So he's kind of a contradiction. I think Bernard would be a much more fun unit if he had Spectra's second skill and Spectra had his second skill. I think it'd be a lot more fun that way. But that's just my opinion. I wasn't paying attention to how many mids I had. I think I have 12. I need 3 more, and then I can awaken my Wind Grim Reaper. Rice cake, spaghetti, the container of cake that fell off, chip and face line in the cake. Not the worst thing. Yeah, there's a lot worse things to face plant into besides a cake. That sounds good. I'm sorry to hear about everything falling on the floor. That's terrible. Hoping to get Galleon tomorrow as well from the Scamstone rotation. Got 10 lots of summons ready for the Scamstones. Good luck with the Galleon. Yeah, there's a few accounts I'm summoning for tomorrow that are looking for Galleon in order to progress, which is crazy because I've gotten extremely lucky in terms of pulling Galleons. I pulled more than 10 Galleons on this account alone, so I've been more than lucky in terms of that progression. Yeah, Starry Night is summoning for Galleon tomorrow, so she needs it. She needs it more than anyone. She wants it more than anyone. She's been trying to summon for Galleon. I think this is the 3rd rotation we're going to be summoning for Galleon on her account. She has a Tashar Lucian, so her AoE clear is fine. The Galleon will just give her more consistent damage with her Tashar, and of course help her in other areas of the game. Yeah, she has been waiting for a while. Her account is almost as old as my very first account, so I want Lucian as well. 10 summons isn't enough. I done 30 summons tried for Hua, and Lucian never pulled either. It's all about luck, you know. I hate to say it, and not trying to brag. It was extremely lucky, and of course it was on the wrong account. My alternate account on the last Lucian rotation had 3 stones, and on the 2nd stone summon I pulled a Lucian, so it was pretty ridiculous. I have not. Actually, after I don't know if I have time tonight to check your account. You know, this can wait. You know, this crap can wait. I just need to make sure I farm the fire dungeon some more to try to get that Beast Hunter SD. But yeah, I know I have to go through your runes and clear them out. Maybe do improvements if I can. Usually when I hop on your account, you have over 2 million mana, and you have a ridiculous amount of runes for me to check through or plus up in order to try to get some better subs. We still need to speed up your Bernard. That's, I think, your biggest concern probably, is getting your Bernard sped up for arena purposes, because your Giants team is really consistent and fast, so. What am I looking for? Fusion. I got 2 million mana as well. Yeah, it's easy to stack up mana when you're not getting the runes to upgrade. So when you're powering up runes, or at least trying to get runes to plus 15, you will fly through stuff so quick. You melt through like 1 million mana trying to get a rune to plus 15, and then never look back. What was I looking for? Oh yes, I have to awaken this guy, and then do a few runs of Feynman probably, and get everybody fused or leveled up to, I don't even know, to level 30, and then I have to level up some other units as well. Who else needs to be leveled? Oh, I need to, so Kaz is almost good. I also need to level up the Light Cowgirl and take this dude as well. And then I have to hit the Wind Shark and Harmonia too. Oh, you can now see when your account, or how long your account has been around. Is that a new feature? Or is that just... That's cool. Yeah, you do keep everything. But it's better, you know, it's better to keep a rune than keep a rune you're not sure about than sell a rune. Part of the new profile system. That's cool. I've been asking for that forever. Because it only makes sense, you know, being able to view how long you've been working on your account. Click your tower, press profile. That's cool. It's about time. I mean, there's a lot of information that should be publicly available about people's accounts. I didn't like, however, that they reset the fastest times, because I had a 55-second time in Giants that I don't know if I'll ever hit again with my team, just because they're all unruined until next time I go back in. So.
And hello.
Oh, what am I clicking on? Next run. Man, that food really destroyed me. Like dairy, it's like, because I'm lactose intolerant, but I'm not super lactose intolerant. So it's like afterward, I just feel like crap. Like my stomach just feels so full and all that. Didn't know they reset the fastest time record? Yeah, for Giants and Dragons. What did I eat? So I went to Giordano's. If you check my snap, you'll see a 7 snap long rant because I was pissed. So we went there for a birthday celebration for my mother's boyfriend's son, and we went to Giordano's. It's a deep dish pizza place in Chicago. It's really well known to everyone in Chicago. I think it's relatively well known to people out of state as well. But whatever, they're known for their deep dish pizza, and so we went there to order some. We ordered 3 pizzas. We got 2 out of the 3, and then halfway through, it turns out one of them was incorrect. It wasn't the chicken pesto pizza. It was a chicken sausage supreme pizza, which the chef had screwed up. Also, the entire time I was waiting for my pizza, which was the deep dish sausage, so myself, my mother's boyfriend's son, as well as my little brother, were not able to eat during that time. So we got the manager out, and the manager comped me a sandwich. So I got a meatball sub, and so I had like apps, half a salad, a meatball sub, and the pizza came, and I had like some slices of that, and I had some slices of the other pizza, and I had a lot of dairy, but it was like a really rage-inducing experience that shouldn't have lasted 2.5 hours. I would have been back by about 6 if it had not been for that. But it was really good. The food was good, but it just took forever to get there, and I was getting super hangry, and it was an experience. But anyways, now my stomach is just like, oh, I feel so bloated and fat because of all that dairy. My body is not a huge fan. It's like, no, stop. Yeah, it's a bad. I was like, oh, time for a bad Yelp review. But I'm just like ready to pass out. That's pretty much it. But I can't. I have to farm this. I have to get Vero fused tonight because the all attribute dungeons close. And by Vero done tonight, I mean I have to get the Fire Beast Hunter. So on 6 different accounts, I'll be grinding the Fire Dungeon in an attempt to get the Fire Beast Hunter. But we'll see. I don't think I've seen any in chat, although I have not been paying attention to the chat on the iPad, so who knows if I've missed like 4 of them or something. And the thing that's never made sense to me is on the all attribute dungeon days, you can't open all of the secret dungeons. I think they should implement it so where when the all attribute dungeon event goes on, you can open any type of secret dungeon regardless of the attribute or the day. Because what's the point of having the all attribute dungeons open if you can't, open up all the secret dungeons? This doesn't make sense to me. What's going to be another 23 seconds? What? The secret dungeon? What do you mean? Is the secret dungeon going to be another 23 seconds? Oh, you're talking about the other one. There's no way. That was the Belladian secret dungeon, and that was another account. Also, that was at the very beginning of the account. At this point in the account, it's basically farming Giants B8, no problem. So it's like the more accounts that I create and start from scratch, the faster I'm able to progress. It's kind of ridiculous. Because you really only need the monsters that they give you in the beginning of the game in order to progress. Because right off the bat, after you've completed Mount Says, you have your Water Magic Knight. You can do the Easy Giants challenge in Giants B3. So you get your Bernard and your Shannon. You work on getting your Belladion. In the meantime, you have your Konamaya, or you have your Lycaruda. You have your Water and Lycarudas. So, I mean, they give you pretty much everything right off the bat in order to progress all the way up to GB7, no problem. And you just get some basic runes and you go from there. It's super easy, though, to progress and get to, GB10, get Pharaoh. The game has a surprisingly high drop rate or summon rate for fusion monsters now. I've had absolutely no problem getting any of the fusion monsters for Vero in the past, 5 accounts that I've created. Oh boy. I'm gonna sleep really well tonight, that's all I know. Let's see. Fly through this leveling process as quickly as possible. I'm trying to think of other things Comtois could implement to the game to make it better. I think besides improving the rates, there's not a lot of issues I even have with the game. Just like randomly thinking, about Summoners War in general. I know there's a lot of people who want a lot of nitpicky things, but I think honestly just improving the rates even more. No, Ghetto has not dropped by. He probably tried to come by at 6 and was like, oh, he's not streaming today. Either that or he's too busy changing a diaper. Let's get some more stuff. Give me some more of that 3-star food. I could use some more, I think 3-star. But I feel like there's not really units that are unbalanced. I feel like some of the actual activation rates on some of the monster abilities aren't correct. Like I feel like Ra'ok's, I think, is at 30% with his first skill. It doesn't ever feel like it's 30%. So I think that should be fixed. It feels like Violent procs more often than Ra'ok's first skill. And I know there's a lot of people who use Ra'ok, so it's not like he's just an underused unit, so we don't get proper data. So I think if it's not truly 30%, you shouldn't say 30%. And if it is truly 30%, you should actually make his activation rate 30%, so Ra'ok seems more, usable. because it's like he's not even that great of a unit anyways. You know, Rauk is fun, and I think that's the main reason why people use him. So I think him not proccing just stops people from using him at all. And I think the whole RNG thing is cool because it makes the game interesting, because if something always had a guaranteed 100% activation rate, there's no reason why people wouldn't just use that and win all the time. So I think having some aspect of RNG is really fun. But I think that the RNG itself needs to be more consistent. Ironically, the randomness needs more consistency, or at least to activate as often as it says it will. But more than anything, it's like drop rates just seem like garbage. I think that making it so the big change to the game, of course, was when they stopped dropping 4-star runes and Giant Speed 10. I can't believe for 2 years in the game they dropped 4-star runes and Giant Speed 10, because that's rage-inducing, you know? Because you get almost no mana for it, and it's like, it's completely unusable. So that was a big step. Since then, we haven't seen any huge improvements. They're trying to change the sylphs, which I noticed. They were trying to make the sylphs a little bit more usable, so that they get some more usability. I saw the cooldown reduction on the sylphs, and I think that's cool. I think in TOA, people who use Tyrant for TOA, that's cool. But they haven't done anything super impactful lately. I think they need to find a way to take us out of the speed meta and put us back in the bruiser meta in terms of arena. Like, to stop making the only way to do anything in arena to be having, you know, Samath, Lucian, Galleon, Bernard, or some comp like that, where you have your arena speed lead, your Lucian, your buffer, and then your +1. I think that it feels like all defenses have to be that, or all offenses have to be that, or it doesn't work. I would much rather have a meta in arena where it's all dependent on, you know, building your units like bruisers. I think it'd be so much fun. You know, I want to see bruisers all go head to head. The thing is, I can't think of any solid way to do that without breaking some aspects of the game. I feel like it would be fairly difficult. Let me adjust this. I feel like it'd be fairly difficult to implement anything that would cause that to happen without banning Lucian in arena, or, you know, preventing certain compositions from working. But I feel like there's certainly a long way for summoners where to go still, because there's still a huge gap between levels of play, which is okay if the gaps were caused 100% by people spending more time in the game, or being better at the game. The problem is right now it's like units and runes are both very purchasable, so I feel limited by my funds that are allocated to summoners where. Don't get me wrong, if I thought there was any chance that I could pull a Lucian, I would stop everything I'm doing right now and spend, like, you know, $50, $60 on a pack and just go purchase it. But I mean, with pay to win, I feel like you're rewarded for dropping a lot of money. You don't get rewarded if you like spend money on small packs. Sometimes you're rewarded if you spend money on those like once in a lifetime packs where they got you have one opportunity to get this pack. I feel like you get rewarded for that just because the sheer value of those packs is so high. But other than that, it's like, I just want to get this one pack. Well, then you're going to get screwed out of your $20. So it's like you might as well go all in and just do like a $100 spending spree on Summoners War every few months in order to do that. In order to summon, if you're going to do that anyways, and just not do all the small summoning sessions. Because I've had absolutely no luck, at least on this account. With my first account, I pulled 3 Nat 5s in 20 scrolls or less or something. I think I got 3 premium packs, and within the second premium pack, it was like 3 scrolls, and I was like, Nat 5, Nat 5, Nat 5. And that was nuts. I think there was 3 sets of Nat 5s after that I also pulled as back-to-back Nat 5s, which was also insane. But since then I have not. I mean, I guess I wore out all my summoners with RNG. And the thing is, there's not really any pulls I'm looking for, but at the same time I still feel like I have to or really, really want to summon. But I couldn't imagine what I could use for progression. Like, okay, I could put Chow into my Dragon Speed 10 team, right? That would give it a tiny little bit of stability. I could put a Teor in there and make it a very stable speed Dragon Speed 10 and take out maybe the Lapis, the Water Magic Knight. But, I mean, even if I got an at 5, I guarantee you it wouldn't help my progression at all. I'd get something like a Molong, which would be insanely awesome and I'd be super excited for, but would have absolutely no impact on my dungeon teams. I feel like outside of Galleon, I haven't really pulled anything that's been too impactful in terms of that anyways. Oh my god. You know what, guys? I'm gonna have to cut the stream early. I'm really, really tired. I'm practically passing out here from whatever that pizza did to me. I'm absolutely destroyed inside. But I'm gonna be grinding on this account and the giveaway account, I think, in bed until like 10 o'clock, when surely by then I'll pass out. Thank you guys all so much for dropping by. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be trying to stream more. I'm definitely going to be uploading more though. But it was nice talking to everybody. Everyone else have a good night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Hey guys, it's West again. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more.